everybody. This is Bonnie Barker with Bonnie Bay Crochet, and you've come to Friday Fun Live. Yay! Friday finally got here, and just want to say hey to Becky. Thank you so much for stepping in for Hannah. Hannah and my sweetheart are on the road right this minute, and I'm looking forward to seeing them about the time this broadcast ends. So fingers crossed. Got a lot of storms they're driving through, but I'm really looking forward to seeing my husband after more than 2 weeks. And hold on one second. Hold on. I'm getting an important text. Oh boy, we've got a lot going on weather-wise in our region here along the East Coast. Apparently, there's a tornado, something going on. North of us. So hopefully things will be okay there. We just trust in the one who knows best here. But anyway, I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a crazy week here. Getting over a little bit of an issue with getting some not so good fruit. So I'll spare you the details, but I'm really glad to be well again and just to be able to hang out with some of my favorite people in the world right here. Well, let me just go ahead and say hey to some of you guys. Brat's mom, so glad to have you. I guess Linda, right? If I'm remembering correctly, thank you so much for being there waiting for us. And yes, she just wants to wish everybody a blessed Memorial Day. Yeah, very special day where we think of those who gave up everything so that we could live as free people, at least in the United States. We can say that. Many parts of the world currently that cannot say that, cannot enjoy the freedom that we absolutely love and don't want to ever let go of. So just thank you, and remember all those many generations of men and women who have literally paid the ultimate price. So take some time to think about that, meditate on that this weekend if you can. It's well worth it. Yeah, well, thank you, Linda. She said, don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you get a chance. That would be great. This helps the algorithm to do what it's supposed to do. And hey, Angie, so glad you could be with us. And Kelly, she's listening from Tucson, Arizona. And she's going to lunch with her mom. Yay. She's going to the Goodwill, had foot surgery last week, and just got her stitches up. Well, thank you. That's so kind of you to serve her like that, Kelly. That is fantastic. You will be blessed because of that for sure. And Judy from Braselton, Georgia. Hi, almost neighbor. And Dolores from Ireland. Whoa. She says, wishing all of America a happy Memorial Day. Thank you so much, Dolores. That is so very kind of you. And she says, beautiful sunny weather here in Ireland for a change. Hope you're all well. But enjoy that weather. I remember when I was there in 2012. We had a lot of windy, chilly days, but I was there in the fall. But enjoy that wonderful day, Dolores. I wish I could enjoy it there with you. We have Denise in the chat from I need to get my glasses focused here. Wiltshire, UK. Wow. Thank you for joining us during your afternoon time there, or I guess dinner time maybe. And Alana, and we have, let's see, Jacqueline is in the chat today. Hey, Jacqueline, so good to have you back with us. Wishing everybody a safe Memorial Day weekend. Yes, absolutely. Said the weather here in California will be nice because right now we have our typical May gray. Wow. Yeah, I'm outside of Myrtle Beach for this weekend, and there's just lots of broadcasts about watching out for motorcycles. So I'll just put that plug in. Motorcyclists and people who drive small cars are harder to see, and so definitely take time to care as you drive about. We're going to have a lot of motorcyclists here, and I believe even outside of DC, they gather there each year to remember those who have fallen, and particularly around the Vietnam Memorial. So definitely, wherever you are, be mindful of that and do be careful. Hey, we have Margita. Hey, Margita, so good to have you here. And Mimi, she says she has a question. Do I ever have moments when I don't feel like crocheting, and how do you move past it? Thank you so much. Yes, ma'am, I do. I do. Particularly lately, sometimes my hands can just start to hurt, and or if I just don't feel like doing anything, it's probably a good idea to just stand up and go for a walk if the weather permits, or just go do something else. Focus on something else. Absolutely, I think we all do that. Even a good thing, too much of a good thing is not always the best. So you don't, and you certainly don't want to get tired of the things that bring you joy. Correct. So I mean, there's not a problem to just set it aside, even if it's for a few weeks. I mean, absolutely. That's the great thing about traveling for me, because I don't get to do the crafting as much. And it was ironically, even on, let's say, the crafting trips, like the trip to uh, Colorado that I recently took to the Interweave Yarn Fest. I got almost no crocheting done except of an instructional nature in the class, and that was even very little because I was just watching what everybody else was doing. And being away from it for a little while, although walking through the yarn market is not exactly separating from it, but yeah, it sometimes can rejuvenate your ideas, or just taking a break from it. Um, Yes, I don't know if that answers your question, but there's nothing wrong with you, my dear. I promise. That's just, maybe it's just a sign that you need to get up and just do something else for a while. Um, but anyway, my 2 cents worth. Um, oh, we have Michelle from Helena, Montana. She's like, it's a gray day there. Yeah, it's really dark in here. It's not as sunshiny bright, but again, those storms are moving very quickly and moving off the coast. Unfortunately, my kids and my my husband has had to drive through it. Interesting story. Yesterday, I have a son who drove from Georgia, and just a 5 hour trip took, or about a 5 6 hour trip took like 10 hours. And this poor kid, he was driving and had to drive through almost whiteout conditions. The rain was so bad. And then he got through that and got to where the sun was shining again. And then there were like 2 accidents in a row on I-20, if you guys are familiar with I-20, and just literally sat and didn't move for about an hour to an hour and a half. And then it was enough time for that storm to catch up to him again, go over them, and then so we had to drive through the same storm twice yesterday because of the traffic. So but we were happy to say he got here safely. But yeah, crazy crazy kind of weather, but a typical of late spring. There's nothing really unusual about storms in the south. All right, in case you guys haven't noticed, my daughter Becky is in chat today. She's used to be our moderator more regularly before she started getting really, really good work outside in her area of expertise, although she is quite good at what she's doing here. But so some of you may remember her. Hannah should be here within the hour, but probably not in time for the broadcast. But hopefully we'll be able to have her with us next week. Um, we have Jan with us, yay! And she says it's 55, I guess 55 degrees and raining in Illinois where she is. Wow. And Lynn, hey Lynn, our friend from Chicago, she says, thank the Lord for you today. Bless your heart. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much. That's to Becky. Okay, I get it. I'm reading everything backwards and sideways here. We have Love to Craft, Hetty. So glad that you're here with us. And let's see. Well, anyway, got a lot. I got a lot more. I'll have to get back to that. Let's say Sheila Ridge. She says I was supposed to leave for Ireland this weekend to visit my family, but my sister-in-law has COVID, so we postponed until the fall. Oh, that's got to be disappointing, Sheila. So sorry to hear that. And well, my husband was actually on the road today, waiting for his results. He had been exposed by a neighbor, and but it was an outside kind of thing. He was actually helping our neighbor with the lawnmower, and didn't was the person forgot to tell him. But anyway, Um, Thankfully, that test came back negative, and he just said that he was waiting on the test results, and said if I get the results and they're positive, I'll just turn around and just go back north. But thankfully, he's able to make the trip down further. So I don't know if you even knew, Becky, that Dad was exposed, but it's all good. He's fine. And the neighbor who exposed him, it was like a totally asymptomatic case, but he was, again, it's easy to forget these things, but we're just thankful for the negative result, and I get to see, hey, get to see my sweetheart and get to go home in a couple of days. We have Tammy H from a wet and rainy Oregon, and we have Leanne. Hey, Leanne, it's good to have you with us. From Aldershot, UK, if I'm saying that right. And Sandy from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, and Swati. Hey, Swati, our LA friend. She says, headed to physical therapy again this morning, but I'll catch up later. Get better, my friend. Get those hands and arms in shape so you can do what you want to do again. And Alicia from Canton, Ohio. And thank you for praying for our friends here, Kelly. And Gail from Alaska. Wow. That's one of Becky's favorite places, by the way. And thank you for your prayers, Kelly, for Hannah and my hubby. And Harriet, so good to have you in the chat. And let's see, Linda Smith. She says it's windy, gray, and cool in Wisconsin. Hope everyone has a great holiday weekend and can enjoy the outdoors. Absolutely. All right. Well, let me go ahead and show you some stuff I've been working with. But first, let me tell you a little about these sweaters that are now available. Because I had an excellent question come in this week from a crafter, and okay, it's concerning these two designs I'm going to show you. This is more of a fall winter design. This is the colorful popcorn pullover, and this is made of merino wool. Two different brands. This is made by Earth Yarns, and this is Malabrigo. These both are sock weight yarns. This is an exclusive of my subscriber paid channel called the Watch Channel is what I call it. It's at watch.bonniebaycrochet.com. There's a link in the video description. So this is an exclusive to that particular channel right now, and just in case you've never heard of this, it's $6.95 a month, and I have my best content there, and I actually have some exclusive content that's not available anywhere else. Archer Nace, thank you so much. You just bumped us up to $10. I'll talk about that in just a second. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But anyway, with this channel, you get totally commercial-free, ad-free viewing. There are no spam bots. I don't keep records of your clicks, what you click on. So if you click on something on my watch page, you're not going to get ads for stuff like it, ad infinitum, if you know what I'm talking about. It's basically a site that's not bot run. I mean, I do keep statistics from my personal information, but none of that information ever goes beyond me. It doesn't get sold to anybody. So if you know what I'm saying. Okay, so it's not like, one of these free things that, everybody knows what you're doing. And you also get complimentary downloadable written patterns to most of it, not to everything on the channel, but the things that I have permission to give that I own is available there to be downloaded. So this is an exclusive design. Now this fall winter version of this pattern will be available in the fall on my YouTube channel, but just the video, not the pattern. The pattern can be purchased if you're not a subscriber to the Watch channel. You can, excuse me, download the written pattern from my Love Crafts store. And again, that link is in the video description below. Well, this is a summer version of the same sweater, and somebody had a question. She said, well, isn't it the exact same design? And it's like, well, yes and no, because the numbers of the summer, it's a different fit. Okay, I do have extra trim. The way um, the finishing is slightly different. And when wearing this, it's much more of a fitted sizing. It is these are both different yarns. These yarns are, let me see, I do have a tag to show you. Okay, where did it go? Come on, tag. Okay, I can't find the tag. But anyway, it's Universal Yarns Pop Sock. It's the picture that was on the thumbnail of the video today. So it is a bamboo cotton blend with something called PBT, kind of like a spandex. And what that means is there's a lot of stretch and give to this. And when I was designing it, my hope was that it would be the exact same design. But as you know, when you work with different types of yarns, it's like having different children. You know, just because you're if you have children, you may understand what I'm talking about. Just because they are all your children doesn't mean they behave the same way, if that makes sense, if that communicates. And Becky knows what I'm talking about. None of your brothers or sisters are exactly like you. You all behave a little differently. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that this is a different season kind of a thread. It is also fingering weight, just like this, so that the top is actually the same, but the numbers going around the body are different. So just to let you know that the numbers in the pattern are different, which is why I can't say, well, they are, you know, the same. They're not. And that's why I had to make two different films, videos of making these because of the behavior of the yarn being very different. And I need to at some point do when I'm at home with a lot of my yarn stash, maybe perhaps do a video on yarn substitution, because let me show you what I did when making this design. And you're going to see my threads because I haven't finished this design. This is actually the prototype of this sweater. Put this up here. So the prototype or the first attempt was this one, but I didn't have the same brand cotton that I used in the one that I finalized. So what I used another cotton. It was a fingering weight. It's a number one, same category of yarn, but it behaved very differently even than the universal yarn. In fact, I just really think the universal yarn is superior to what I used here. This is the Knit Picks cotton. Now the Knit Picks cotton is fine. It's just that it's definitely not as elastic as the universal, and because it was thicker, it yielded a much larger gauge overall with the same hook and everything. It just performed differently, behaved differently. So I just decided that I needed to change this up again. So just to show you, there's we try to put a lot of work and time into these so that you have the materials you need. Now, that said, I mean, there are plenty of other designs that it really doesn't matter. You can change things up like a shawl or a stole or a scarf. I mean, you can do whatever you want with a lot of things like that. But when you're working with fitted garments, you have to be especially careful because the slight difference in the yarn can make a big difference in the overall, effect. Okay, so, but I also want to show you, this is another color changing yarn in the universal yarn family, and this is the same type of yarn, just a different color. And so there are a lot of variations that you can do with this particular design, and thankfully they do have more solid colors like this, but in their own yarn with the PBT elasticity built into it. All right. Whew, getting a little geeky there. And while I'm getting geeky and talking about this yarn, let me go grab this. Oh, come on, ball of yarn. I went to grab it and it just rolls away from me. Can't exactly reveal what I'm doing here, but it is another garment. I'll just say that much. And I'm working with another colorway that I picked up at the Knit and Purl here in Myrtle Beach. And this is just really fun. This is just really coming along nicely. And again, it's a variation, or this is the ball of yarn. And this has just shy of 500 yards. It's about 492 yards in a ball like this, fingering weight, so you can see. But, it has a little bit of give to it. You can see it's not like super elastic, but there is enough there so that, you can see the stretch. It's going to be fun. So this is something else, again, coming in the future. And I'll let you know as I get closer, once I figure out what I'm doing, and show you more on that. But I am a little bit, well, more than a little bit infatuated with this pop sock yarn. Gee, I wish I had that little thing to show you, but oh, here it is. I knew it fell somewhere. Here we go. This is the tag. Okay, and this is anywhere from $9 to $11 a ball, depending on where you buy it. You might be able to find, if you check, I do have an affiliate link for Universal Yarn in the video description. You can check their site to see how much it is, or to find where you can find it locally in your area. And sometimes they have yarn sales that I believe is also sold through lovecrafts.com. So if you check Lovecrafts, and they always have pretty big sales every now and then. In fact, this week when I went to the yarn store, I made a stop up to Hobby Lobby because I had an idea. And you get an idea, you gotta go out and buy some yarn to go with your idea, or at least that's what I do. And so I just found these colors that were absolutely stunning. These are 100% cotton. I'm going to put these right over here. And so something very summery is coming. And this is the type of yarn I'm using. It's called I Love This Cotton. It's a Hobby Lobby yarn. It is 100% cotton. It is a worsted weight, but it is incredibly soft, and no, this does not hurt my hands to work with. It's not as abrasive as the kind of yarn that you use for like dishcloths and things like that. Now I love that yarn too. The peaches and cream. I do like that yarn, but for certain things, because that's about all I will use when making things to scrub pots and pans in the kitchen, because it will last forever. But that's not what I want for making things to wear, or a face cloth, or things that you might want to use in the shower. This would actually be pretty nice for that. And you can see they have a garment on the front. I haven't really looked at that. Oh, thank you, Grace. So anyway, this is coming. And I meant to tell you, all of their yarn, when I went there, all of their yarn was 30% off. Every scan in the store, every ball of yarn in the aisle, 30% off. Boy, I was lucky to get out with only getting a little bit. Self-control, right? Well, anyway. Well, I wanted to go back and thank Archer Nace, and thank you, Grace. That's adding a total of $30, I believe, to our next donation. So let me go ahead and add that in. So that brings us up to $55 for our next charitable donation. And for those of you who don't know what those little color bubbles are, I mean, it's not something I'm soliciting, but there are just a lot of generous people in our community, and it's something called Super Chat through Google, and that is, I think, originally designed to help creators, and I feel really blessed when you guys do that. I really love to be able, I'm just really enjoying being able to do what I love full time now because of support of people like you. But I've pretty much designated that whenever the Super Chat comes in, that I want to use that to help others as well. So what we're doing is we're helping others together. I think I'm going to do Rancho 3M for this next donation. Rancho 3M, you can look that up. Just put Rancho 3M into a Google search, and it is a an orphanage and a Christian children's school in Guadalupe, Mexico, one of the poorest regions that I've ever seen in my life. And they're doing a fantastic work there. And Becky and I have actually, served there for about a week. Experienced the rotavirus. I did. It was great. And that was thankfully towards the end of the time there, but it was really an eye-opening experience, and it's always great to give back. And the other charity that we really enjoy is the okay, okay. I have to think. I have two S words. Shriners Hospital for Children, and currently, since things are kind of messy in Europe right now, while that is still going on, I want to contribute. I'm going to match donations 100%, and that will go towards the uh, Samaritan's Field Hospital in the Ukraine. A Samaritan's Purse, if you're familiar with that organization. It is a Christian organization that we trust and have worked with for many years. So anyway, thank you ladies for your generosity. Grace and Archernace, thank you so much. Let me see if I can say hey to some more folks here. We have Heather. Hey, Heather. And Vestina. I don't believe I've seen that name before. Wow. Well, welcome to my channel from Vinland, New Jersey. Wow. And let's see, Sheila Ridge. Yeah, I've talked about Sheila. She's missing out on her Ireland trip. And let's see. Okay, Kelly was saying, I am just finishing up the messenger bag for my brother-in-law, which I consider as my brother instead of, okay. Okay, well that is great. I'm glad you're working on that. If you have any problems with that, Kelly, just let me know. You know where to find me. And let's see, we have Joni. She says, hello, Bonnie. What's your take on yarn bowls? That's a great question, Joni. Yarn bowls, let me show you this yarn again. If you're working with yarn like this, that's kind of in a ball, or do I have any, I don't know if I have any of my other yarn. Let me see. I've got something top secret in here. Okay, I do have some yarn I can show you. Or, see, I'm working on something with this yarn. This is yarn that was in a hank that had to be wound with my ball winder. And if you're using like this, it's very thin thread, it's fingering weight. You're working with balls like this, which generally don't stand up very well. You put them in a yarn bowl, it's fantastic. It keeps the yarn from rolling all over the floor. And if you like have pets in the home, or if your floors just aren't perfectly clean, you probably don't want it rolling all over the floor. Even if your floors are perfectly clean, you don't want it to be picking up, extra fibers from your carpet or, so yeah, I think yarn bowls are a great idea. At first, I didn't get them either, just to let you know, but, I have also been using them. I have a small yarn bowl. Sometimes I will set inside my bag if I'm out and about, because if you put this inside a yarn bag, it can get tangled around your other yarns that are in your bag. But if you put it in a bowl, that kind of keeps it, in a contained area. I think they're a great idea, and they make them so artfully beautiful now with the different woods. And I've seen my friend at Banshee Fiber, where I got the fiber to make the Eileen scarf. She has an Etsy store, and she hand makes these bowls out of, I think she uses ceramic even. So, I mean, they can be quite beautiful, although you're not going to want to carry a ceramic bowl around in your bag. You want that to be something you put, in your room or in your living room where you craft, where it can look beautiful when you're not using it. And then you can just kind of, like place it on the floor or have it beside you. And it just contains your yarn for you. And again, this thing rolls all over the place if you don't put it in something that's contained. And you can put those, again, inside a bag or something, but yeah. So that's my take on yarn bowls. Probably went a little long on that. Let's see. Oh, I just got a bunch of comments. I'm sorry. I may miss some more stuff. I'm way behind. I'm sorry. But let's see. What time is it? 12:30 already. We have crochet done my way with Wanda. Hey Wanda, I hope you're doing all right. I know you've had a lot of weather to drive that big old truck in. My friend, I hope you're doing all right. Um, Thanks for the way you serve us. And we have, see, Uchi in the chat and Melanie. Thanks for joining us today. And Lisa, is it Thornburg? From a hot Tucson, Arizona. She said, I made your Celtic cable throw this past winter and it will be raffled as a fundraiser for the American Legion Auxiliary. How fun to make. That's fantastic, Lisa. Wow. That is so kind of you to give yourself away like that. Thanks for letting me know. That is really extra special. Um, you guys are just so generous. I love that. I love that. You guys are the best place to be on the internet. Let me tell you that too. And Melanie says, hello to Hannah. I'll tell Hannah you said hey. Melanie said, kiss grandma for me and say hello. Okay, she's not going to know you, but I will do that. That'll be great. And we have Patty from Vegas. All right, Patty. And Charlene. She says she finished the wheat field cape. I don't have the closure, but it came out beautifully. I will make another one. Oh, that's fantastic. And Charlene, you can probably get those from Etsy. I got them. There might be a link in the video description where I bought mine, but you can probably do all sorts of different things with the closure. But what the project that Charlene is working on, it was originally designed to have leather attachments and which are snapped together down the front. So it was kind of a nice, I think a nice combination. Was inspired by um, my friend from Interweave. She wanted me to do something, and she said, "But you need to include something with leather on it." So, but anyway, that was a fun project. I'm glad you like that. And we have Ruth from Colorado. Um, Said they finally got moisture, snow last weekend. Well, Ruth, when I was out there about a month ago at the end of April, man, we got snow like 3 or 4 times while I was in Estes Park. But I'm glad you got the snow you need, my friend. I know there were fires right before we came. We have Ann Butler from a rainy Northwest Indiana. And thanks for the reminder again, guys. If you can hit that thumbs up, that would be. Thank you. I got 48 thumbs up. That's pretty good. Thank you so much. You guys are great. Um, let's see. We have Denise from a sunny Salisbury, Wiltshire. Did I already say that? I may have. And Leela from Virginia. Hey, Leela. Hannah just passed through your state not too long ago. And Archernace. She's going to be in Pittsburgh. Yeah, fantastic. I'm guessing you're talking about the Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. Well, let me go ahead and talk about that for a minute, since you prompted me to do that. Registration is now open. I'll be teaching it's going to be held at the Doubletree by Hilton in Green Tree, Pennsylvania. It's just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. August 25th through the 27th, I'll be teaching 3 classes there. I love crochet cables. I'll be teaching that. It's a 3-hour class on the 25th of August. Fun crochet fabric for beginners. This is on August 26th. And this is for beginners who know the basic stitches, but you just want to take it to the next level and learn certain textures. And then we have big and bold cables on August 26th. These are all 3-hour classes. And I tell you what, these are very affordable classes too. I mean, you'd be surprised at the price on these. They're very, very, very affordable. Probably the most affordable classes I'll be teaching all year long in person. And again, it's due to the generous support of Pittsburgh Creative Arts Festival. They are helping me with my travel expenses so that I can be there. So I'm really thankful for that. Got to meet the lady who runs the festival when I was in Colorado, and she's an indie dyer herself. Lovely woman, wonderful, wonderful gal. So I'm really looking forward to being there with her. Let me go ahead and tell you about another conference that's coming up even sooner. This is coming up in July. It's what, less than 2 months away now. Can't believe how time is flying. And registration is now open. This is the Crochet Guild of America, or CGOA is the abbreviation. It's an in-person conference. It's going to be held at the New Orleans Marriott Warehouse Arts District in New Orleans. And again, July 20th through the 23rd. And I'm going to be teaching 4 classes there, crochet classes, and 2 additional classes that I'm excited to tell you about today. This will be the first time I'm telling you about these others. I'm going to be teaching how to design your own texturized poncho on July 21st. The long class, it's all day, but it's going to be a blast. How to crochet the Aran sampler scarf, another all-day class. We learn about 9 or 10 different stitches in that class, and we book it. So it's for, again, it's for all of these are really for a confident beginner and above. This is the beginner that's not afraid to get a little messy with new stuff, make mistakes, have fun. And the crochet poncho class is more of it's kind of more focused on how to design something. I kind of go through my process, how to design something, and you will be designing a poncho during that day. You're not going to have a completed poncho, obviously, because that would take many, many more hours, but you will have your blueprint to go home and finish the project. Going to be doing another class, turning easy crochet fabric into your favorite scarf or shawl. That's on July 23rd. It's going to be a 3-hour class, so a shorter class, but again, one that will have information for helping you to design your own projects. And the I Love Crochet cables on July 23rd. This is again a 3-hour class. Now, before the actual official conference begins, there is an all day of classes on Wednesday for those who maybe you want to take the next step and learn how to grow a crochet business online, whether it's selling your things on Etsy or other places, or maybe you want to learn how to design things for publication for magazines and stuff like that. If that is you, I would highly recommend you check out the Professional Development Day, which is at CGOA in New Orleans. I believe it's that Wednesday. Let me look at my calendar real quick, because that's still a ways out. Okay, so this will be on. Let me look at the dates here. What are the dates? Okay, so this is on the 20th. This is on Wednesday, July 20th. These classes that I'm talking about, and these classes, we have a time where we all meet together as a big group, and then we also have breakout sessions. It's going to be done a little differently, and it's to help give people more of what they want to learn and to give them more of it instead of just a passing glance at some of these topics. So the 2 that I'm going to be teaching, I'm going to be teaching 2 breakouts, which are going to be 1 hour each, and one is called So You Want to Start a YouTube Channel. So, and I basically, tell you kind of what it's like to do that, a little bit about my story, how I started, why I'm doing it, talk about a lot of nitty gritty, about what's required, and it kind of, from my perspective, obviously, I mean, there are, I'm sure, other people who could do this class much better, but it's definitely from my perspective. But I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be an hour class. And there's also a class I'm going to be teaching called Photography for Crochet. It's how to get the best out of the equipment that you have. So it's not one of these classes where you have to invest $5,000 in photographic equipment. It's not like that at all. I'm going to mostly be focusing on your cell phone, how you can get the best out of just using the photography equipment again that you have. And I'm going to be bringing some other things to show you, and just kind of, again, what I do, but hopefully in an effort so that you can, make great pictures of your work. Because if you are interested at all in getting into publication with magazines or books or whatever, you've got to be able to take good pictures. You've seen lots of bad pictures on Facebook. I know I have. I mean, I see, and I'm not trying to be a resident critic or anything, but from the time I was very young, I was always been very interested in photography, and it's probably why I have two kids who have cinematic arts degrees from a college in this subject. But there's not a lot of things that you have to learn to do, but there are some key elements for taking just really good pictures. And if you can take really good pictures of even an average crochet project, you are really closer to getting published than if you have a fantastic project but it's just a poor photo of it, and you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, those are the two classes, and you don't have to pay for the classes individually. The way this works is there's one fee for the day for professional development day. I don't remember exactly what that is, but you can look in the video description below. You look at the Crochet Guild of America or CGOA link, and go to that, or look up the information for the conference, and you can learn more about that. And if you're even a small chance that you're interested in that professional development day, you need to probably sign up soon, because that tends to fill, and seats are limited. Seats are limited in all the other classes as well, to only about 20. But still, the one in the professional development day is one that's of interest to many teachers, and even if you just want to be a professional crochet instructor locally, that would be, I think, a really good a day to spend at Professional Development Day. I remember doing this many years ago, and not everything really applied to what I was wanting to do, but enough of it did that I was able to take little snippets here and there and apply it to what I was, to my business and what I'm trying to do, and try to make me a better crafter as well. So I hope that makes sense. I know I'm talking a lot here. Do I have anything else? I think that's pretty much all my business here. Yeah. So let me get back to saying hey to some of you folks, because I know you're getting probably getting tired waiting. Thank you, Lynn, Lynn Guider, for all you're always so encouraging, my friend. I can't wait to meet you. That goes for everybody, but Lynn is always just first to encourage. And what I love about Lynn, let me tell you this, it's not just encouraging me, but she loves to encourage you guys. And whenever I post pictures of your work on my Facebook page, I mean, she's just right there, just missed encouragement on the ball. So, and there are several others too that I could list as well. So I've got something in my face here. All right. Oh, we have Crochet Me Pink in the chat. Hello there. Glad that you could join us and our crafting peeps, as you say. So Jan has a question. Let me see. Okay, I'm checking to make sure Becky hasn't sent me any pictures. Jan says, so would an extra large fit me if I wear an extra large top? Okay, this is a good question, Jan. She's asking these tops that I'm talking about. So like if she wears an extra large, she make an extra large. I talk a lot about that video. And by the way, this video, the summer popcorn yoke top, is up on the YouTube channel right now. And the link for the pattern is also is down there, is on this video, and pattern is available in the Lovecraft store. And again, if you are a watch subscriber, one of my paid subscribers, the numbers on this do vary from this one when it comes to the bodice part. But as far as sizing goes, instead of trying to decide, am I a medium, small, whatever, I try to make that as in line as possible with the Craft Yarn Council of America's standards. They do have standard sizing that I did try to follow as much as possible. But what I am recommending is, once you make the yoke, before you even do that, is look at the back page of these patterns and look at the numbers, look at the size of the bust in particular. That's probably the most important part of the sweater. And you want to make sure that this will fit around you comfortably the way you like. And the best way that I know to do that is for you to go to your closet, or go to your closet and find a shirt or a sweater that you love the way it fits, and use that as a guide as you're crocheting this. So in other words, assuming that you've checked the numbers and you know, okay, I am definitely going to be a medium or a large or whatever. And then when you come to this part where the color changes, this is the part that goes around you, that crochets. It's going to go under the arm. It's kind of like this part of the shirt goes under the arm and around. And so what I recommend you do is crochet maybe 2 or 3 rounds, okay, with the new color. And then stop. Absolutely stop and compare it to the shirt or the sweater that you love to wear already. Now, if the crocheting is like much larger than that, then it's going to be too big. If it's much smaller than that, obviously you need to add stitches. So how do you do that? Well, you measure, measure, measure. And what you can do is add multiples of 3s of chains right around here. This is where you work the bottom part. I know I'm getting a little technical here, but just know that in the video, I do encourage you to compare to something that you already love the feel of. There's nothing magical about these numbers, and you do need to be conscious of your gauge. For those of you who've never, especially if you've never made a garment, it's not hard to make a garment, and it's not hard to make a crochet garment that fits you. It's not hard, okay? And like I said, mistakes are allowed. When I was designing with these and changing the yarn from what I originally used for the winter yarn, I had to pull it out a few times until I got it right. And it's not a problem if you have to do that. But once you get the sizing here correct, once you get this, and then you can even put it on. You can even put it on and see how it's going to fit around you. And if you like it, just keep going. You just keep going until you reach the length that you like. This yarn is as elastic as that. It will shape to your shape so that, like we said last week, you'll look like a Ginger, not Gilligan. So anyway, I hope that's helpful. I don't want you all to be afraid of this. And both of these projects are no-sew projects. It's crocheted entirely in the round. But do take time to measure, get that gauge as correct as you can. Although this yarn is forgiving. It will stretch. It will stretch a bit. So you don't have to be perfect on this. Another reason to give this one a try. Excuse me. All right. So let me just go ahead and say hey to some more of you guys. So that was a great question, Jan. Thank you for asking that. And we have Heather, yarn substitution. Yes, please, she says. Yeah, I would love to have done something sooner, but again, I've been going back and forth, and I need to be home where I have a lot of yarn available just to show you, and I need to be able to show you swatches and everything. But yeah, yarn substitution is tricky. On some things it's a no-brainer, but on things like this shirt, I honestly, and nobody is paying me to say this, but I have looked for yarns for summer tops for a few years now, and I'm actually going to be releasing a design soon in the next few weeks that I designed last year. And I experimented with many different cotton yarns that were similar, and I still have not found anything to replace the bamboo sock pop yarn. I just haven't found anything like it. Maybe somebody will come out with more, and if you know of something that's as good as this, please let me know. I would love to know about it. I am not all in the know of all that's out there, but this is nice, and it's kind of nice that it's it's the company is U.S. based. I don't think it's made. Let me see. I don't think it's made in the U.S. That was another question that came up this week. That was very good. Okay, where are you made? Price tag is over it. Okay, it's made in Turkey. But again, it's imported by a US based company. And let me say something about that. I hope I don't get in trouble saying this. Um, I understand that there are a lot of people out there because a lady asked me this past week, and very kindly, just she was trying to focus on more made in the U.S. or purchased in the I guess made in the U.S. kind of yarns, which I mean, I understand that wanting to support locals and everything. I try to do that as much as possible for nothing for that reason, as well as you want to help the people that you know. Um, the problem comes in though is that a lot of the textile industry um, has been exported. A lot of the basic materials, the process of making a lot of these um, just has been sent elsewhere. I am broadcasting to you live from an area of the US that was huge, both in growing cotton. They still grow cotton not too far from here. I mean, I can get in the car and drive 5 minutes and be where they're growing cotton. But a lot of the mills in the area have just been shut down. I mean, I think I don't even want to speculate on all the reasons. I'm sure that I know some of them. I'm not going to go there, but all that to say is that it's really tricky if you're looking for things that are only U.S. made because. Like a lot of the indie dyers that I buy from are my neighbors. They live near me. I've bought yarn from, that has been hand dyed in the U.S., but the yarn itself was not manufactured in the U.S. The base yarn has come from somewhere else, and it, and that's not a terrible thing. It's just the way businesses have operated over the years. I know that there are some places that do manufacture and grow things right here. There's a company called Cestari, Cestari, sheep and wool. You can look them up. I know the family, very nice people. They make and mill their own cotton, but again, it's very limited. I mean, they grow wool. They have sheep, and he's been a sheep farmer originally from New York State when New York still had farms. I believe it was even on Manhattan Island. It's been a long time. He's in his 80s, but wonderful man. His name is Francis, and you can look him up. But again, there are few and far between. So just for people who think it might be like un-American to feature yarns from Turkey, please don't feel that way. It's just that it's very limiting, what is available here, and also it just so happens that other countries sometimes specialize in certain fibers. When I went to Australia, I got some of the best Australian um, alpaca yarn that I've ever worked with in my life. It's just we can't I can't really design with it because it would be prohibitively expensive. Just the shipping from Australia is very expensive. But if you live in Australia, you've got some of the best Australian wool. But what's interesting is even though the wool was the wool they have sheep there too, wool, and their alpaca was raised on their island, in Australia, it was milled in another country. So even Australia's the infrastructure for milling a lot of the yarns was sold to foreign countries and other places many years ago. So even if it's like and the same, I could say the same, so all I want you to see is that it's a network of countries working together, really, when it comes to the manufacturing process. A lot of times cotton from the US will be sent to other countries to be manufactured, like a lot of things are sent to Mexico. And I think I'm getting deep here. So anyway, just to answer the question, I do try to buy locally and eat, like again, even when I buy from my local indie dyers, which I love to do, and I do often when I'm up in Maryland or wherever I can find them. The yarn itself was not manufactured here; it was merely dyed here. So, in some ways, maybe we have to look at this as a team effort. And if everything was, only manufactured in the U.S., I will tell you that it would probably cost about 2 or 3 times as much because of labor. Just going to throw that out there as well. But anyway. Probably went too much on that, but thank you for the prompt, Heather, on the yarn substitution. Lots of good questions came in this week. And if you have any questions that you want to hear me talk about here, please send them to me. You can reach me, bonniebay@me.com, if you want to hear me talk about some things, or you could even post in the community section. You can just reach me a number of places. It's just that if you do post a comment on one of the 800 videos or so on this channel, I may not see it. There's a chance I won't see it. So if you have something really urgent that you want to get an answer, please feel free to contact me, bonniebay@me.com. Okay, I do welcome that. My family's going to be in town for a few days, and I don't do a lot on the weekends. I do a lot of resting, and this weekend will be especially true on that one. But anyway, I do respond, just to let you know, I do get to my correspondence during the week. Yeah, and Linda Smith said, I would love, okay, well, she would love to see a video on yarn substitution. Sometimes I want to do a pattern but can't get the same yarn, so I don't do the pattern. Yeah, yeah, and Linda, it's a problem for designers. When my first book, Contemporary Celtic Crochet, went to publication, and it takes a couple years to go from beginning to publication date with a book. By the time the book was published, at least 3 of the yarns in the book were discontinued. So you just don't know. And a lot of whether a yarn is continued or not is a lot of times up to the whim of the yarn manufacturer. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's a lot of things beyond our control. But the good news is there are so many other yarns on the yarn market today. But occasionally you do get unique yarns like this, and there's just nothing else out there. And when it goes bye-bye, then it can be a problem. All right, well, we have Maryland from Kansas. Thank you for your well wishes there, Maryland. And see. Oh, okay, Joni's talking about Pittsburgh again with Becky. And just to let you know, Joni, I got to see your team. Becky and I got to see the Pittsburgh Pirates beat my favorite childhood team, the Cincinnati Reds, many years ago in Cincinnati. Do you remember that, Becky? Becky was getting her driver's license and needed some night hours, so we got in the car and drove to Cincinnati and went to a ball game. And Pittsburgh Pirates, they beat the Reds. But we got to have a great night at the great ballpark there, right on the Ohio River. It was beautiful. And made a great memory with one of my gals. Excuse me. Yeah, Crochet Me Pink is saying you don't have to use the same yarn used in tutorials, just the same weight and yarn and same size hook. Yes and no, depending on, I'm not, you're right, Crochet Me Pink. I mean, as long as it's, not a fitted item. But yeah, there are always ways to substitute. And as far as the same hook size, as long as the gauge is about the same, or, yeah. And if you like the fabric, of your substituted yarn with that hook, so many little nuances with these crochet patterns. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Hildegard. She's praying for my guys. I would check to see where they are, but it's on the phone that I'm broadcasting from, and I don't want to mess this up. So just trusting they'll be here. They should be here soon. Knowing the way my husband drives, they'll probably already here. Gosh bless him. Don't say anything, Becky. Hey, I think we see Johnny in the chat. Whoa. Welcome back, friend. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope work is going well. She said, just jumping on to say hey. And you picked a good day. Becky is here. I mean, it's a good day when Hannah's here too, but it's unusual that we get Becky today. And let's see, who else do we have? We have Starfire Horizon. Okay, and she says they shear, spin, and dye everything here, but I love yarns from Denmark, Australia, Turkey, Argentina. I'm just in love with the craft fiber community. We're not political mostly. Yeah, I agree with that, Starfire. I mean, And as far as politics go, we all have our opinions, and thank God we all live in a country where all opinions should be allowed. But yeah, we don't get political here because we want to focus on what unites us. But thank you for the understanding there. But just because we have our hearts, uh, desires and things, But yeah, we try to keep it yarn friendly and encouragement friendly here. We don't want any more division. The world has provided too much of that for us already. It's just so sad. But anyway, um, yeah, Patsy says, I just crochet. I'm not into world fiber issues. Yeah, Patsy, I agree. I pretty much, I try to focus more on the yarn. But again, if I can support, another, local small business with it, I do. I like to do that. I like to help others, give them a leg up if I can. I'm just thankful for those people who've helped me. Um, so anyway, yeah. Um, well, let me go ahead. Let me see. Yeah, okay. So Brad's mom says, I was shopping for yarn one October and saw some pink yarns that the company would donate toward breast cancer patients. Okay. I was all set to buy a bunch until I saw the yarn came from Canada and would only benefit breast cancer patients in Canada. Yeah, well, told one of the employees that I wouldn't buy any of that brand and never have. Oh, well, Linda, that's we're free to do what we want, and I respect I respect your view there. But yeah, uh, it's whatever. Although I don't think it would be a bad thing to support people um, in other places. Just having traveled, I think having traveled the world, and I haven't traveled the entire world. That's maybe rephrase that. Having had the privilege to travel outside the U.S. several times has just opened my eyes to a lot of wonderful people in other places. So while I do like to support people in the U.S., let me be very clear about that. I am very much a lover of my country. I love freedom, etc. But I have met people in other countries that are just incredible and are not very different from us. That's the one thing that whenever I've gone to Asia, um, in Korea, wonderful people in South Korea. I'm sure there are wonderful people in North Korea too. It's just they don't have the freedom that we do. Um, let's see, in parts of Europe, Ireland, I don't know, just uh, and I'm just saying that I think it's okay to help others too. I think it's okay to support other people. Um, yeah, but anyway, probably hit that too much today, but yeah. I heard something recently. It's just you can't help everybody, but you can help some, and that's kind of what I want to try to do too. Um, well, anyway, let me read something. I'm gonna have to wrap it up here because my sweetheart's gonna be coming in that door any minute, and I want to be available when he comes in. Haven't seen him in 2 weeks, so not gonna go into details. I don't have to. I'm not one to really focus on current events or anything, but it's been a challenging week, and that's all I'll say right now. But I just thought with Memorial Day and with some, I'll just say, recent tragedies, I'm not going to talk about it because I honestly don't have words. I have no words. But I do want to read something that you all have heard probably a million times, so this is going to be 1,000,001 times you get to listen to it again if I can get through it. It's just a psalm that just blesses me, and everybody can understand this. So just want to leave you with this. This is from King David, and it's called The Lord is My Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. I knew I shouldn't have gone there. Anyway, he makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Let me read that again. I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So sorry. I'm not going to apologize. Yeah, so comfort is real. Evil is real. Evil is very real. But so is the comfort of the Lord. So I hope that blesses you guys, and I hope you have a fantastic week. God bless. Bye-bye.